going on, YouTube? So today I got a kind of special video, I guess if you want to call it that. Sorry, I'm a little, just got out of the shower, about to go get the wife some food right now. And then I got me a big job that I gotta work on, which to some people, it's not a big job. I mean, I don't know. However you want to see it, it might be a big job to you, it might not be a big job to me, I don't know. But that is what I'm doing. So I had to do my starter on my ISX on my truck. So I guess apparently my truck's been, the starter's been dragging. I noticed it maybe one night where it kind of hesitated to start. And now I know you guys gonna be like, oh, it's probably the batteries. It's not the batteries. I got all brand new. Well, I think it's 4 batteries I have. They're all brand new. I bought them. They're not even a year old. You guys hear my chickens? So they're not even a year old. All brand new batteries. So I know it's not the batteries, and I know it's not the batteries because when I would crank it over, I think I cranked it over a few too many times. The ground wire started getting hot, so I had to stop at that point. So I'm gonna do the video on this starter, but I'm gonna give you guys some tips, pointers. And like I said, I love YouTube because we're able to post about it and put it out there. You know, I'm not one to be stingy on knowledge, especially if it can help you guys out, owner operators. Mainly for you owner operators. Obviously, you're a company driver, just call dispatch, you know. So I was at my pickup getting live loaded. I turn on the truck, so that means the truck is hot. I mean, it wasn't cold. I was in Kansas. It was probably 50 degrees. Anyways, but the engine was hot. I just shut it off, and they took about 10 minutes to load me up, and I was about to take off. It would not start. You know, it'll be sluggish trying to turn over. Like there was no power. Like it was weak. It had no balls, whatever you want to call it. It didn't want to turn over. So first tip, if you guys are trying it 3 times and it won't start, stop. Stop right there. And I'll show you guys later on why, because like I said, my ground wire, so like it's like a see-through jumper wire from the, you know, from one negative to one negative post, and the outside is like a silicone, you know, like a silicone, and it got so hot that the clear silicone around it, covering the copper wiring for the wire, was started melting. There's so much amps just trying to start that starter. So that's the first tip. If it doesn't start after 3 turnovers, stop. At that point, I would just let it cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes. Honestly, you're gonna want the batteries to cool down and that starter to cool down. The other tip I can give you guys, and this is all for you manual guys, if you guys are having a dragging starter, pressing the clutch all the way in, so that way it's not trying to it relieves the engine from the transmission, so it only has to turn over the engine, right? It's only going to turn it over. So pressing the clutch, that's actually what I did. You know, it's struggled to start, but it started. I thought I dumped the clutch all the way in. So as I said, that's only for you manual guys. Now, for you automatic guys, and this is also for manual guys too, at that point, you're gonna have to try to hope you could detach your trailer and honestly ask a pickup, you know, a heavy duty pickup or another semi truck, see if they could tow you a couple feet so that engine will turn over a little bit, you know. So you're gonna have somebody pull you, you're gonna put it in 3rd gear, dump the clutch all the way and try to start it as they're rolling you. That could go for your automatic too, for your automatic guys. Now, and that's pretty much it, guys. That's the only tip I can give you guys. Honestly, if you guys are having a dragging starter and it won't turn over, obviously at that point, once you get it started, do not, and I mean do not turn it off. Because if you turn off that engine, it might not turn back on. Like I drove yesterday, it was raining, so it was cold. So I came home, turned on the truck, and I turned it back on. It's still a little sluggish on turning on, but it turned on. But that was because it was cold. So like I said, once you guys get it turned on, do not turn off that engine until you guys get to wherever you got to get to. Whether it be obviously it should be a truck repair shop at that point. But those are the tips for the day. So I need to go get the wife some food, and then we're gonna start on that bad boy right there. Now it looks easy, honestly, but I've seen videos. Obviously, that's why I love YouTube. You know, YouTube certified mechanic. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Rumors about this bolt. This one right here, because this one is one that's up against the block. This bottom one, easy. That one's away from the block. It's this one, away from the block. So I do have some tools that I bought, which actually, honestly, I might as well just show you guys right now. And get these tools out of my, get them out of my car. And I do have to do another video about this Honda. I need to change out the axle. But I'm not going to talk about that because that's a very different video. So these are all the tools. Oops. Now, you don't need all these tools. Obviously, I need this because I need a new one. This one, I just wanted it. Set of pry bars. This one, I'm very excited about. This is a ratchet breaker bar. Who freaking knew? I didn't know they had a ratchet breaker bar. So I'm thinking this will come in handy for this bolt right here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Yeah, so that one I would recommend. That one, Harbor Freight, guys. All this is Harbor Freight. Some guys might be talking shit. Oh, you're going to Harbor Freight and buy some cheap shit. Hey, if it works, it works, right? I like Harbor Freight. I think they got some good tools. But I would say, if they ask you, would you want a warranty? Get the warranty. That's what I'll tell you guys. Get the warranty for sure. Now this one, you guys will need extensions. So the way I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put these two, and it's gonna go like this. So you're gonna need two extensions to reach that nut over there, or that bolt, you know. So something like that, and then you'll put your socket on this end. So yeah, and make sure you guys if you guys are gonna use the impact, get the impact ones. Obviously you can use them for regular hand tools or for impact, so get them. Don't get that chrome shit, because I mean, it might work, but you might end up breaking it. Zip ties, I need some. Gloves, up to you, optional. I am gonna use them. I need gloves. Yeah, this one, pretty excited about. Obviously for your owner operators, make sure you guys keep that receipt. This one's 1/2 inch extended ratchet. You know, it could extend to whatever you want it to be. That's how long it goes. So that one should be good when going underneath that. Yeah, so this one I would recommend as well. And then you guys will need, because those bolts are 12 spline, you know, that star pattern. And I got, like I said, everything's at Harbor Freight. This handles the 12.6 point, and apparently for square fasteners. Don't know what that means, but this is what it looks like. yeah, I'm hoping this does really good. And from what I think, I believe it is a where is it at? A 5/8. I think those nuts are, or the bolts are 5/8. So, but yeah, so that, and then if you guys have a Milwaukee like I do, the impact, what she's hanging up there, you could use that as well for those other bolts that are not that one that's not towards the block. So yeah, so those are the tools I'm using. And I got a tarp because it did rain last night, and it is drying up, but it's still a little moist down there. So I got that tarp, $3. I'm gonna put it underneath there, should be good. But yeah, guys, yeah, so like I said, that's the tools. I'm gonna stop talking right now because I need to go get the wife some food, and then once I get her some food, I'm gonna come back and tackle this job. Now I saw a video where some guy, he did it literally in 20 minutes. He's probably had experience with this starter, doing the starters. So yeah, I have done a starter, obviously on my Honda, you know, not this big, triple the size starter, you know. So I spoke to my uncle. He's had one of his, I think his like family member or driver, he had a driver do it in 3 hours. So that is my goal. You know, I'm not a competitive person. Yeah, a little bit. But my goal is to get it done. Honestly, I want to say an hour. So you know how that goes. You know, we have a job that we think we can get done in an hour, turns up being 2 hours. Then 2 hours turns up being 3 hours. So as long as I could get it done within 3 hours, before 3 hours, I'll still be a little bit hurt inside, but I got it done. But my goal, honestly, is to get it done within an hour. And yeah, so I will be getting on the ground and on top of things, on top of the tire, to get those cables undone. Yeah, enough talking. I gotta get the food, and so I'll be back, guys. All right, guys, first things first, I'm gonna take off just the negative post, just the negatives. Once I take off the negatives, we should be good. You don't have to worry about the positive. As long as there's no ground mean to the chassis, we should be good. So I'm gonna take that off first, and then once I take those off, I'm gonna make my way over here. And yeah, if you guys could, honestly, get your shit washed, because there's just a bunch of gunk all over mine. And I mean, it is what it is, but it makes the job a lot easier. So first things first, take off all the grounds, all the jumper cables for the ground, and we should be good from there. All right, I got the old starter off. So when I want to rush, or Peterbilt, whatever you guys want to call it, I get them the VIN number to the truck. Now everything looks the same except for, so this is the old one. The solenoid is obviously on the side. Now the new one, they have different mounting positions. You can mount it here, mount it here. You can literally mount it underneath if you wanted to. But me, I'm gonna mount it right there. I'm gonna mount it right there. Obviously this one's mounted right there, so it would have been like mounted right here. So, but this new one has a little plug. Obviously I don't have a plug on mine, so I'm not gonna worry about that plug. Now hopefully I install it and I should be all right. You know, hopefully I don't need it. But everything else looks different. Maybe this is like a vent, air vent, I don't know, maybe for cooling, I don't know. This new one doesn't have it, maybe because it's older, I don't know. But yeah, so let me see, this is a Mitsubishi electric. I don't know about the part number. It doesn't give me a part number.
Oh, there it is. It's a PC1479. That's what's this old one. This one's this new one. It is a 39MT Delco Remy. So obviously this is for vehicles. This one could obviously fit multiple different manufacturers, different makes. Obviously I saw the video. I saw this one was for it was an ISX, same thing, ISX, but this guy was putting on a Volvo and he kept the cylinder on the top. So obviously for your different vehicle, it might depend on where you're gonna want to put that solenoid. So obviously I want to put it on this side because that's towards the block. So I think for me the easiest spot will be out of the way, will probably be here, maybe, because actually not thinking about it, the frame, so I don't know if I should just put it here instead. That's probably what I'll do instead. I'll just put it right here, mount it right here, so I have more room on the frame to work with. And especially, you know what, yeah, I am gonna put it here, thinking about it, because when I had to put in this nut, if I put the solenoid here, how am I gonna get that off? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm mounting it here, guys. That's where it's gonna go. Good thing I just thought of that right now. So yeah, so if you guys have this type of starter, you guys are putting on 386, mount it here, because obviously if you mount it here, how are you gonna get that nut, that bolt out? So yeah, good thing I just saw that. So literally, guys, all the tools that I explained, what I recommended, is literally what I used. The spline, that extended one helps. Now you guys can see my setup. Let me see. So to get the bolts closest to the frame, I had 2 long extensions, and then I have that little one right there, that little one, and I use this guys right here. If you guys could find one that extends and it swivels, even game changer. Yeah, so if you guys can find one that telescopes and it swivels, buy it. I don't care if it's 80 bucks. I'm telling you, it is gonna save you guys a lot of time, a lot of times. But that is recommended. I'm glad I bought it. I didn't even have to use that ratchet breaker bar, but I would still get it just in case if your bolts are seized up in there. Luckily mine, I did have to give a good little 1 or 2 ugga duggas to get it loose, but that wasn't too bad. And then one hint, guys, when taking off, let's see, when taking off the positive wires, I came up here, and when I undid the nut for the positive wires, because I'm telling you guys, when you guys go down there are so many wires, you guys don't know what you're looking at. So all the wires down on the top part, they're for the positive, and I zip tied them together so that way I know that these are all positive. Even though they're all colored red, I'm still making the necessary precautions just in case I forget. So I zip tied them. It's up to you, you don't have to, but I know these 3 up here, they'll go on the top power. Everything else that is loose will be going to ground. So I don't know if that will help you, but that's gonna help me. And then I have that little ground, let me show you guys, the little ground that connects to the solenoid, which is right there. I don't know why my screen won't, oh there we go, that little ground right there that's hanging, that one connects to the solenoid. So don't forget that. So everything else, the big grounds, they're literally 3 powers that connect to the power. You guys will have like multiple grounds. That's obviously for one, the frame of the body, the chassis. You also have another ground that goes to these for your connections, your quick connects. What else? You guys also have grounds to go to like your fuel pump, you know, all that. So they're all like accessory grounds. So make sure you guys all connect them. Don't lose one. Don't forget to not connect one, because maybe you're not gonna start the truck and it'll turn over, but it won't start because of a ground for a fuel pump, or you know, something like that. But you know, it happens. So make sure you guys connect those. But that's pretty much it, guys. Honestly, if you guys get the tools that I told you guys, yes, if you guys have power tools, I didn't have to use any of my power tools. I didn't have to use my Milwaukee. So it's just a little time consuming. Take your time, don't get frustrated. But those tools I told you that I recommend, get them. That's all you guys would need for this type of job. I didn't have to use a tarp. So yeah. I mean, I did use a zip ties, but that's about it. So yeah, guys, so I am gonna move the solenoid right here to the side. Don't put it here, because how you gonna, for that bolt, and I'm gonna bolt it up, and then we should be good. Yeah, so to me I think it's a lot easier taking it apart. I think that's with any job. Well, for me, at least for me, it's a lot easier taking it apart. It's when you got to put it back on, which, you know. So I'm just gonna take my time. I'm in no rush. I did call my dispatch. I did let them know, like, hey, I'm probably not gonna run tonight. Maybe I want to try to make some money, but I do have to send them a picture of the receipt of the part, so that way they know I'm not just saying I don't want to work because I don't want to work. No, I'm not able to work at the moment because she's down, you know. So that's about it. Maybe I could get a run tonight and make some money. And yeah, so enough talk. What I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna conquer first, is I'm gonna put the bolts, the one that I could reach, at least for now, screw it on there, so that way this isn't just free, you know, it's not just hanging, you know, free hanging. So I want to mount this, at least this one, and then line it up the best that I can, tighten it up a little bit, and line all these bolts up, these holes, and then I'm gonna work my way. I'll do this one, and then maybe the one up the top. So that's how I'm gonna tackle this starter. So yeah, let me start moving that solenoid and start getting to putting this all back together so I can start her up, and we'll see how she goes. All right, guys, so continuing the rest of the video, I finished the job. I finished putting on the starter. Starts good. There's no more drag in the starter. Starts good. But what I want to finish about this video is show you guys what I actually used. I talked about it, but I want to actually show you guys what I used to help me out. Now, one other tip: if you guys are doing a starter for a truck, try to get the original one, only because the one I had, it worked. But remember when I was talking about there's little sections where you can mount that solenoid? Well, because they're like little notches, it made it more difficult when trying to install it, because of those little notches of where you can place a solenoid. It made it a little bit harder. So if you guys can try to find an original style, I would do it. Obviously it all depends on money. You know, if it's cheaper, then go with the style that I got. If it's the same price, try to get the original. But that's one tip. Also, I want to talk about, for you starter guys, for your automatic guys, I know I told you guys about having someone pull you. Make sure that your rig is obviously in neutral, which I think it should work. Obviously the truck should be neutral. From what I remember, I don't think there's a park. Obviously you hit your brake for parking. So yeah, make sure it's neutral when they pull you.
try to crank it over. Hopefully it starts. I don't know, but yeah. But let me show you guys what I use, and also let me show you guys the size. So to take off those bolts, it was a 5/8. 5/8. Make sure you guys, it has to be a 12 point. You guys can get this. Obviously, I got this because it could take off 6, 12, and apparently even a square fastener. So if you guys have the money, I would just get this style. Make sure it's 5/8. To take off those nuts that hold up the cables, the terminals, I believe it was a 3/4, and I believe it's either 11/16 or 3/4. I want to say 11/16, but usually you're only gonna use those is the 5/8, 11/16, and 3/4. Those are the only three you'll use to get the job done. Now let me show you guys what I literally had to do. So it's this plus this little one. So that's literally how long it had to be. That long. That's one long piece of extension, another long piece, and like a little short one, and obviously the sockets. Yeah, and especially when that starter, because it had those notches, this part right here wouldn't let the bolt line up perfectly with the hole. So that's why I say try to get the original style, because it'll save you guys a lot of headache. So that's pretty much it, guys. It's fairly simple. Well, it is simple, but just take your time. Don't get overwhelmed. Taking it apart, easy. Putting it back on, the hardest. What I will say is, when you guys do the job, make sure you guys the wiring is pushed out of the way. Make that area nice and neat, organized, because that right there will save you guys a lot of help. And before you guys put on the starter, that negative, I believe it's a negative, that little black wire that goes to the cylinder, which I'm pretty sure it's a negative. I don't think it's a power, it's a negative. Make sure you guys attach that first before installing the starter, because obviously when I tried to put the starter on, I thought I had room to put that negative, but the frame was up against the solenoid. There would be no way. So put that little wire on first before installing the starter. That's pretty much it. And then it's up to you guys if you guys want to put anti-seize on the bolts. I didn't. I just give some ugly duggas, call it good. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope this video also gives you guys the confidence you guys need to get the job done. Like I said, if I'm able to do it, you guys are able to do it.